Welcome to the Gransberry Chronicles weekly Pickem. It's playoff edition time. And if you was with us just a second ago, yeah, we had some live glitch. We'll just
Technical
call it a production
difficulties.
glitch. But you did see us, and then we did disappear and reappear. But look, we here. Um, we are excited about the playoffs. Obviously, our team's not in the playoffs, but look, there's still excitement. This time of year, I get super excited and super sad all at the same time. It's a run of emotion because every week we are a week closer to the big game, and every week is a week further away from more football. There's less and less games every week. But anyway, D Jones, my dude D Jones is here on the right.
What's
What's up,
popping?
D?
Chilling.
We don't know if Big Sexy gonna make it. You know, he be doing his own thing sometime, but we got room for him whenever he decide he gonna jump in, jump out. You know, he important like
Mm-hmm.
that. You know, he can just roll in when he see fit. This was so uncoordinated. You know, me and my boy D Jones decided to wear our, Astros hats tonight. Um,
Always.
we really are brother and sister from another mother, you know.
Right.
So I was quite surprised by that hoodie you got on, just taking a second
Don't worry
there.
about that hoodie. It's just the hoodie that was in the closet that's comfortable right now. So that's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
last week I said I was going to Cincinnati, and literally on my way to the airport, I took an exit and decided I wasn't going. And it really is just simple as that. I
I
just
ain't gonna
I
know.
ain't going.
I ain't gonna know.
I just
Nah,
got
man.
off the freeway, made a phone call, and had everything canceled. But don't worry, I won't be saying that about the Super Bowl.
No.
And the NFL has announced that they intend to leave the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta open in case Buffalo versus Kansas City is your AFC matchup. That is the neutral site. They already know where it'll be. I'm going to get me a backup flight to hold on to for that, just in case somebody want to go. Atlanta's always a good time.
Yeah.
Indoors makes it feel really good
Yeah.
because that was my thought process. Like, man, it's so cold in both places. I have such sad memories of the last time I was in Kansas City that this could be a better outing for me. But anyway, I just want to talk real quick about the fantasy picks. We do fantasy here for those that signed up, and we have a really close second and third. They're actually tied. First place is
Weekend
Derek,
picks.
but
Yeah. No, I pick games. That's what I do.
yeah, oh yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
I just pick
But
games.
but besides that, Derek doesn't count for us to give out our award to the top fan in our fantasy pick'em league. So, with a tie in place and the way our pick'em still works, you got to play through the playoffs. So, guys, don't lose your top spot over the playoffs. I'm sitting in fourth. Um,
Don't
I'm
call it a comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years. I mean, I would have been, we already know what happened. So I'm good with it because I really know how I
There we
pick.
go.
So, but if you don't put it in the app, it don't count.
It didn't happen.
So it is what it is. I'm in
It didn't
fourth
happen.
with my comeback. I mean, I had some rough weeks, but most of that was due to not pushing the right thing in the app. Sometimes, human error get the best of you, moving too fast, all that good stuff. But it's real important because our second and third place winner right now, they are still tied, which one of them will be the winner. So we need to get it. And look, I guess I done jibber jabbered enough that Brandon done decided to show up, y'all. We're gonna get B in here right quick before we get started because we don't have nobody to get out the way. But so I guess what we'll call this is add him in. Boom, we added him in. What's up, Coach Big Sexy? Were you somewhere being sexy tonight? Is that what happened?
Man,
Mm.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm just full disclosure.
Sleep.
I was knocked out. Man, I was knocked out.
She put it on you,
Let
huh?
me
She
I
put
was
it
stop.
out
on
of
you.
there. I'm sorry, y'all. I know. We discussed when the show
Mm.
stuff, whatever,
Mm.
whatever.
Mm.
And when
Mm.
I go silent like that, I'm knocked out.
Tell
I
I
was
said
out.
hi. But anyway, then let's get ready to talk these games. Then, okay, let's get ready. All right. We've seen some things around the NFL. We got some goodbyes from Derek Carr today.
Yeah.
And that was surprising. Not surprising that we didn't think something was going to happen with the Raiders, but surprising that he released the statement so fast. I was a little surprised.
I wasn't surprised. I'm surprised it took this long. I'm not surprised that I don't know. I understand him waiting until the end of the season
to not be a distraction.
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Okay.
They keep saying, he was away.
No.
He
I'm talking about only his announcement not being a distraction, not that mess about away from the team.
Yeah, I put all that in the same That's in the same basket for me. So it's like, he had to say something. He's that kind of guy. So I'm not surprised that he released something so fast. I bet it was already written. It's been locked and loaded.
So how do you think that makes Devontae feel?
Especially after what Devontae said about him when the announcement came out. I think Devontae is probably be like, man, I came out to Vegas, X, Y, and Z. However, it's kind of like, back and forth because Devontae wanted to leave Green Bay because it was up in the air with Aaron Rodgers at the time. Was that part of it?
Had nothing to do with that.
Money? I don't think it had nothing to do with that. He wanted to play with his buddy.
Yeah.
So he should feel some kind of way. He should feel some kind of way.
Exactly. And that's why I'm bringing it up.
But it's the business.
So it is the business. And I think he did say he's fine with staying. He just wants input on the quarterback. I don't know where that input's coming from or how that's going to work.
It's gonna be interesting on that.
Players play,
that
coaches coach, GMs GM.
So they say.
I mean, we talking about McDaniel picking a quarterback. Last time he picked a quarterback was Tebow, and we all know what happened with that.
Well, Tebow lasted for a few years.
But who says McDaniel's picking a quarterback? Last time I heard, I don't think he's the GM.
Well, his boy's the GM, so
yeah, he can have input, but I'm sure the owner over there is gonna have most of the say so.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
So.
I'm sure of that. I'm still highly disappointed in my tour, but anyway, I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna get to the first game, and that's because I have to compare it so much to SoFi. That's part of the problem.
You was right though, but go ahead.
Okay. All right, we're going to get into the first game, which is Seattle versus the 49ers. And, it's pretty obvious most people are going with Seattle. It's about a 96%.
With Seattle?
I mean,
Seattle?
San Fran. Sorry about that. S's. Okay, I got slipping on my S's.
I want you, players mess up.
San Fran. So, I mean, obviously I'm picking San Fran, not for who's under center. I wish Gino the best, but this was a tough matchup. And, it's really weird. And I get that's the way the playoffs sometimes shake out. But except for the Giants versus the Vikings and the Cowboys versus the Bucks, everything else is divisional matchups this weekend. So everybody else is playing for the third time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I feel about that.
But the funny thing is even the Dallas game is their second time playing.
Yeah.
They played earlier. So
yeah. I mean, but that's a rarity, right?
Yeah.
And then to be, the first game of the season and the last game of the first weekend of playoffs is kind of funny. So, but even still, I'm picking 49ers this week. I know everybody talks about their dominant defense right now. I can't say personally that I have them in Arizona. That's me. So right now, my pick would be the 49ers. Derek?
I agree with you. This is a large spread on this game as well. I think 49ers are a 9.5-point favorite. And, only because I think it'll be, like a division game, that it'll be competitive. But I think the 49ers win this easy. So it's not really a lot I can add to what you already said. So I'll pass it to Coach.
I agree with both of you. I'm going with San Francisco on this one, even though they're consensus. I don't want to say consensus. They're majority for Super Bowl pick for a lot of people on the NFC side. But like you said, we're going 1 week at a time. I'm going with San Francisco with the win on this one. And like you said, best of luck for Gino.
Also, thanks, Gentry, for that catch. The Chargers and Jags are not a divisional matchup, so
Right.
we did get a different game in there. So thanks for that catch, Gentry. I actually had just went right past that, right past that matchup. And since it's our next matchup, the Jags are rolling on a little high, and Chargers do have to travel far, but I'm still going with the Chargers. I understand with the Jaguars. I mean, a win is a win, but the game was still not looking like they would win last week. And I think the Chargers are a little bit more put together team than the Titans were, and definitely than the Texans. So I anticipate a better game, but I actually think the Chargers should be able to get a stronger edge. The season has benefited them well, meaning in the beginning, they were, depleted with injuries on offense, including at quarterback. They were playing through toughness and just hanging in, getting the right wins in the right spot to hold on to a playoff spot. But I think they're a better unit now. So, one of those where they say who's in stride toward the end. I feel like the Jags are in stride as far as, because they're in a division that didn't have 3 quarterbacks for the most part. I mean, it is totally a benefit of your position. That's what it is, especially when you look at how many wins they actually had to get into the playoffs versus how many games are played in your division. They didn't have to win too many other games to get into the playoffs. So you have to take that into account, whereas the Chargers had to do some battling, to make it work. So for that, I'm leaning with the Chargers. Coach?
Cross-country flight. Jacksonville is gonna be able to pick up some people from, like North Carolina, Georgia, just to say they were Jags fans, and they can pay off.
I was trying to figure out where you were going.
I knew where you was headed.
You pick up some wrestlers that the Jags owners have, or whatever, just to be fans. I'm going with the Chargers across country flight. I think, Justin Herbert is ready for the moment. I'm not saying that, Lawrence hasn't played well up to this point. I completely agree with everything you said as far as the AFC South, because that was the most AFC South side game Saturday night against Tennessee. And if Tennessee had any sort of a little bit better quarterback play than Dobbs, they would have won that game. But I'm going with the Los Angeles Chargers for their first home game, and first playoff win in Los Angeles Chargers history.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. He stretched that.
Because
he stretched
the Chargers went all the way to Baltimore. Okay.
He said, yeah, they didn't change teams, dude. They still got the history. They just
I know teams. That's what I said. Los Angeles Chargers history. That's what I said.
A play on words. Anyway, I'm picking the Chargers as well. I think this is going to be a really close game. This game is going to probably look more like what we saw last year in the playoffs with all of the field goal and the 3-point wins, victories. Jacksonville, like you said, Gransberry, both of them ended the season on a high. Jacksonville is playing with great confidence right now. But as I said last week, I just don't trust their confidence. I don't trust them as a team. I wanted them to win last week. Glad they ended up pulling it off on the defense. their defense can show up and slow the Chargers down, but I think I agree with you as well about the injuries that the Chargers had and getting those receivers back. I think the Chargers can pull this through. And just for those that's playing, the Chargers are a 2.5-point road favorite here. So yeah, I go with the Chargers.
Leaving your home. That's really a 5 points.
Because they give you 3 for being at home, pretty much.
Yeah, you usually get 3 for home. Yeah. Okay then. But I just wanted to go back because I wasn't really sure what you were. I'm sorry, you were just doing too much for me, Coach. Because the Chargers beat the Ravens in the playoffs on the road.
Okay, my bad. All right.
Because that was the big hype.
That's right.
Because that was Lamar's first year, and they beat him, keeping him in the pocket, and that's when the whole started. The talk was when you don't let him rush, he can't beat you. And
he can't beat you throwing the ball.
Yeah, he can't beat you throwing the ball. So that was the hype that year, and I was like, "How you forget that game?" But anyway, but anyway, we just gonna move on. But I just want to make sure we're clear on that.
They're just gonna do it in front of fans that aren't Jaguar fans. So go ahead.
All right,
you gonna make that thing work.
You gonna make that right.
You gonna try to make it work.
This next matchup. I'm gonna skip to this one: the Giants versus the Vikings. Now, I picked the Vikings. Once again, they're at home. I can't really say what Cousins is going to show up, but I'm still going with the Vikings. I think, for lack of a better word, he should be a more poised quarterback in the playoffs than Jones, and Jones has to travel. So that should help them. But, the Giants are playing with the edge of they finally back in the playoffs. I'm sure at this point, Jones has a little chip on his shoulder, because there were talks of whether or not believing in him, and they're putting out statements to prove they believe in him as their quarterback, and this push to hang on to him when things were not looking so great in his first couple of years at the Run under center. All of that, I'm still picking the Vikings. I do think it'll still be a good game, but I anticipate, unless Cousins throws a fourth quarter interception, that in a close game, they should be able to pull this game out. I mean, you got one of the best receivers in football and a great run game. You should find a way to win. Now, don't get me wrong. I know the Giants have that as well, but just you truly have the top receiver right now in the Vikings. So you need to make this happen, period. There should be no excuses.
Yeah, so the only thing I disagree with what you said is the Giants don't have the receiver. They got the running, but they don't have the top receiver. I'm just saying, it's just the way you saying they had the receiver and the running game instead they had the same. I knew you meant just the running game. And I think that's going to be the difference. That's going to be the difference in this game. I think a lot of things are really evenly matched. Their defenses kind of play about the same, if you ask me. They both even kill. The quarterbacks pretty much even kill. The running games are pretty good. The coaching is on the same level. Jefferson makes the quarterback better. So Jefferson alone makes the quarterback better. So that's why I give them the edge here. The Vikings 3-point home favorites. And I think they'll probably win by that 3. What you say, Coach?
I was just getting ready to say this is going to be a field goal game. The Vikings with the win at the house. He led it up to it. Y'all said it perfectly. Cousins and Jones and Barkley and Cook. It's just a matter of which Minnesota defense is going to show up. I'm going with the Vikings still at home.
All right, and then next we have the Ravens and the Bengals. This game, the next 2 matchups we're going to talk about, we can't say much for. One team is playing without their starter, and the other team is in the driver's seat to figure it out. The good thing for the Bengals, they've been here before. At this point, if any other team could have been affected by the situation with the Buffalo Bills a couple of weeks ago, the team that was in the best poised position would have been the Bengals, because the Bengals went on the road and fought their way to the Super Bowl last year. So obviously being on the road is not a deterrent for them to play together as a team. And so here they are, a little bit more poised, a little bit more together. They were looking really good a couple of weeks ago. And they get the same matchup they had last week, which was the matchup I had intended to see. And then I thought about that a little better. It wasn't a good idea to see it in the first place. Since Lamar wasn't playing, and Lamar put out a statement to let y'all know he's trying to still get healthy. But with that being said, this should be an easy rollover, nice home game in 20-degree weather for Cincinnati. Coach?
I've been on the Cincinnati Bengals bandwagon since I said about the losing streak and all that. So, but with Lamar possibly not playing,
it's not impossible. He's not.
He's not playing.
He's not playing. So Cincinnati for the win. Go to the next round. D. Jones, what do you say?
No Lamar. Hudley was limited in practice today. Not sure if he's going to actually play. Cincinnati 9.5-point favorites.
That's probably going to go up to 12.5.
It might. Yeah, if Huntley doesn't play, I think it'll go up. It depends on what kind of action they get, but yeah.
All right, another game with quarterback issues. It's Dolphins versus the Bills. Bills just came off of a storybook game in Week 18. 2 return touchdowns. First play of the game, a return touchdown. Things were looking pretty awesome around the league. And, I want to take a moment and say something in regards to people that felt like it was being pushed too much to the limit of attention with everything that happened around Hamlin with the league and the way they responded. And I think what people forget is that every player is a human first. They're a human first. They are somebody's brother, sister, husband, cousin, family member second. And then they're an athlete for your team. And so in seeing that situation on television or in person for those that were there, every player and their family thought, hey, that could have been me. It was very relatable because of the uniqueness of the situation that it could have been them, not because of a pre-existing condition, not because you only on offense or only on defense. I mean, he didn't even make the tackle. The player came into him. So it could have happened to anyone. So the reason why it was so important is because it could have been anybody in the sport. And they all had to take a moment to regroup for that. So it was definitely the right thing to do for the league to celebrate that moment, respect that moment, and think about that moment, because it was a family. The family of the NFL could all have been affected by that at any time, any place, period. Mm-hmm. And we don't see those things unfold on live television. We just don't. So I don't know why people, we have horrible people in this world, so those are already in a bucket. But I don't understand the nastiness and distaste for feeling like it was too much. It's never too much to celebrate life. It's never.
Never.
And if you think it is,
Amen.
Ask somebody that lost somebody if they would rather be celebrating with them being alive than not. And I'm sure the answer you'll get will be consistent.
As Grandma used to say, keep waking up in the morning and then see what you experience, right?
Exactly. I just felt glad to have my birthday on Sunday, this past Sunday. Okay. So, it is what it is. But in that, I definitely believe this should be another good game for the Bills to get their motors going. They should find a way to win because it looks like the 1 and the 2 are out. We already know Tua's out. Bridgewater's out. They're on the third string. So if anything, this should be a good rhythm game. Get yourself going and running for the playoffs and gear it up, because at some point, the Cincy Buffalo or the Kansas City Cincy, all that has to overlap at some point. So we just have to see how it plays out. But I definitely would be using this week to get all my motors going if I was Buffalo. keep that energy flowing. I'm kind of wondering if Hamlin will be in a suite at the game due to the fact that he was released from the hospital in Buffalo as well. And so I don't really anticipate him being like maybe on the sideline, but I'm thinking maybe I would anticipate he would want to be near them. So maybe a suite would.
I'll be surprised if he's not.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he's not. But just, if with the conditions and everything, maybe they suggest or recommend the suite would be the best option.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
For this week, which is why I say that.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm pretty sure we all picking the same, but I'm gonna let my guys talk. So D Jones.
Oh, same thing. Buffalo, 13-point favorites.
It's even worse. So, like I said, that's what I expect the Bengals to be once they confirm who's playing quarterback for the Ravens. So yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
B.
Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
The closest thing to a feel-good win, but Buffalo win.
Man, they already feeling good. They don't need no feel good.
I mean,
you messing up your own stuff.
Like you said, you hit the nail on the head when you said rhythm game. So
jump out early, sit the starters in the fourth.
Sounds good to me. Just don't eat chicken wings on the sideline.
Hey, if you
if
Buffalo,
you can.
Let's go
29-degree weather don't exactly invite you to chicken wings. So
it's Buffalo. It's Buffalo wings. You know what I mean?
You know what?
It's always time.
I still need to post that. I'm gonna share that with you guys over the next couple of weeks. When we took our trip to Buffalo, we went to the home of where the buffalo wing was created.
Yeah.
The food was good. It was just such a darkened.
It's old.
I didn't want to say that, but
most.
You talking about the place, the restaurant?
Yeah, the place.
It's the place.
Food.
It was alright. It was alright. I mean, we went. It was alright.
Oh, Gonzalez.
Just
Look, I was wondering where you were because I was like, Big Sexy was late to the show today. He said he was asleep.
Man, I was knocked out.
No.
Man, I was knocked out.
I think he ready for an entanglement weekend too. He bringing that.
He started already. Sounds like he started already.
He started already.
MLK weekend.
And you got an extra day. He ain't got to go to work on Monday.
Okay.
You know it.
Talk to us, Big Sexy. Talk to us.
Don't talk to us. Keep that to yourself.
I'll be at the PV. I'll be at the PV Jackson State basketball games.
On Saturday night.
He letting them know. Okay.
He letting them know where the check
No.
Right?
No.
Head on down to PV.
Nah, I mean, because the last time that happened, I think they almost got in a fight. So last time I was there against the game. So
they was fighting over you out there. The girls was fighting.
Yeah, was fighting.
The girls was fighting over you?
No.
All the entanglements.
See, that's what
all the
about.
Entanglements.
I set myself up for that one, but no.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Keep talking.
Oh, you did. You walked right into it.
Gonzalez, get you.
Wait. Don't tell Gonzalez to get you. Gonzalez been here 18 weeks.
He sure was.
Nah.
It's all love.
And he would have been here 19, but we went live 1 week, so we're not even gonna let you do Gonzalez like that. Nah.
Right. It's all love.
But anyway, this last matchup, Cowboys versus Bucks. Interestingly enough, week 1, I was confident that the Bucks would win that game. I am not confident that they would win on Monday night, and not because I'm confident in Dallas. It's more so I don't know which version of Brady is showing up, because he has showed us some extreme highs and lows, and more so, what defensive look will Dallas bring to him? And if they bring the heat, I could see Dallas playing a safe game to keep it close, which would, I'm not saying they'll blow them out, but keep it close. But I just don't know yet. But today, I'm still going to stick with the Bucks. because they're at home. What's my spread, D?
2.5 to Dallas. Road Dallas. Yeah, so I'm kind of with you on this. I feel exactly the same. I think it's not a question what defense they're gonna need to play. They have to put pressure on Brady. They have to hit Brady. So the flip side of that is Tampa Bay has to protect Brady. So if they can get protection and you get some man-to-man matchups on the outside, then it could be a long day for Dallas. So that's going to be the chess match. The chess match for that Monday night game is in the trenches. Even on the Dallas side, it's going to be in the trenches. If Dallas can get a running game, take some of the pressure off that, then it can go their way. I'm struggling on this one. So whenever I struggle, I just go with the GOAT, and I'll pick the Bucs to win this one in a close game. What you say, Coach?
Everything that y'all said was right on the head as far as, back and forth with Dallas defense. Are they going to bring the heat, or is Tampa going to be able to run the football, which they haven't done all season long? And then, Dallas from the Dallas side, they've been able to run the football. It's just a matter of how much they want to run the football, or they want to pass the short passing game with Dak on this aspect of it. But like D. Jones said, if you're going to struggle with the pick going back and forth, seesaw, but there's Brady. Brady's there. You give him an opportunity, just the door crack open. He's going to try to bust through that little crack and find a way to win games. Because there were some games that we've watched while we were in group chat, like how, we know it's Brady, but you gave him that little window open and you win 16-10, and you're down 16-10 and come back and score 17-16 and win the game. From the aspect, and Tampa's defense is really that bad, but it's just a matter that the Bucs offense has been that bad, not being consistent enough to run the football. But I'm going with Brady in this one. I'm going with the Bucs in a close, hard-fought game while Dallas is on the road.
I think if the run game is working for Dallas, keep running. I think some of the games I've seen, when they're running, they start trying to switch it up and rely on the pass, and it don't always be score related. And so I'm not really sure why they get away from it. And it just seems like those are the games that puts Dak in a position to throw more interceptions, because he's been a little interception happy considering he didn't play 5 games. That's a big gap to come out the leader of the interceptions. In that sense. Well, I know our quarterback was close by, but our scores looked like we was throwing interceptions every game.
Who quarterback? You talking about
Mills?
Oh, you say our.
The Texas quarterback.
I look like him. The dude.
The dude that we didn't.
I mean, the dude on your sweater.
I'm playing.
On your hoodie, But
hey, polo be on my chest. That don't mean I own it.
Oh, okay then. Okay, touche.
Tank Commander Mills. He got us.
Tank. He almost got us there. He almost understood the assignment. But we're not going down that road. Let's go.
No.
We're talking about playoff teams.
I'm with Bucs in a close game unless I change my mind between now and then.
Oh, Monday is so far away.
It really is. It really is. And I was so trying to get to NOLA this weekend, but I refused to give the airline $500 to go 500 miles.
They got New Orleans tickets for $49. Not this weekend, but
not this weekend.
That's crazy.
David,
David, you must be a Cowboy fan. He said that could be fine.
I was gonna pay $350, but I'm not paying $550.
$350 is a lot for New Orleans.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I'm just saying that's where I would have tapped out at. I mean, to me, that's not
But
high.
you was talking about buying today for this weekend,
Right?
yeah.
And so I'm saying you would expect to pay that, but I've done that, but I've never 500. I could have went to Mexico.
What's going on in New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay. I was checking.
I just wanted to go.
I mean,
birthday
it's always popping.
Birthday month turn up.
It's always popping in New Orleans. It's always popping in the Nova. I mean, I've go to New Orleans just to go eat for a couple of days and come home. So I'm straight with that too.
That was my point.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. I was checking. I was trying to make sure I didn't miss some event. I'm like, man, I'm trying to think in my head, like, what's going on in New Orleans?
It's the Gransberry month. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just my month.
It's the queen.
Catch flights, not feelings,
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You know what? That sounds so broken. That's what some hater would say. That sounds so broken. It really don't. But
somebody's catching feelings. Somebody's catching feelings. That sounds like an emotional statement. That sounds like an emotional statement to me.
Yeah, and every game is like, so now I'm protecting my warmth. I don't want to travel where it's cold, real cold, unless it's like the AFC Championship or the NFC Championship, right? I just don't want to sit in the cold for the sake of a game. And so that's kind of what happened Saturday on my way to Cincy. I was like, it's staying near 80 degrees here, and I'm about to like go to 28 is the high to watch two teams in a little bitty town who downtown is like 3 blocks of a circle. Yeah.
That's the reason why they chose Atlanta to go all the way down to Atlanta as the possible AFC Championship game.
Oh, baby, you don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me at all. So I'll be there if I need to be. But anyway, I am glad you guys joined us tonight. Remember what I said, if you're in the Pickem League, you need to make sure you still pick through the playoffs. That is crucial. We're still down to trying to pick our first place winner. And I would hate for you to lose just from a failure to pick, because I've been in that position. And at this point, it's no recovery because it's less games every week. So you let the spread get away from you, it's away from you, and it's no coming back. Because otherwise, you're going to be a loser like Big Sexy, and you're going to have to win in other areas that do not include our show.
I stay winning. What about that?
What I tell y'all, you see, he walked right into that. He stay winning. Y'all hear that? He told y'all.
Regardless.
Right. Big Sexy, since you stay winning, tell the people where they can find you on the DMs. It goes down.
Wow. Man, hey, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that came on the show tonight. So here goes.
Especially Gonzalez.
Whatever. All right. Yes. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm Coach B Pat.
Okay, Coach B Pat. Go down in the DMs. D Jones.
On Instagram, D Jones 9804. On Twitter, that boy D Jones. Peace and blessings to y'all.
And of course, I'm the Gransberry on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me. You can still find me as the Gransberry. And we're just having a good time, enjoying life. And we appreciate y'all for joining us. And I just, enjoy being here and hope we make it worth your while and your time. And we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.